Hey guys, Scary Barry coming at you. I appreciate you tuning in. I've got a fun one for you today. So over the weekend, my wife and I took a little trip down to Kentucky and we went on the Bourbon Trail, right? So what an amazing experience, right? I got this and this, and all of this stuff, which we'll go over later. But for now, I'd really appreciate it if you sit back, relax, watch the video, join us on our adventure, check out some of the awesome places we went, some of the historical places we went. I'll talk about where I got to dip my own bottle of wax of Maker's Mark. We got to tour a facility and I'll show you behind the scenes exactly how this bottle is made. The good, the bad, some pointers for you if you decide you would like to go do the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky. Some of these places are rich in history, guys. I'm telling you, I'm a history guy. I love to hear this kind of stuff. I love to read about this kind of stuff. And I'll explain some of that to you as we go through the video, some of the history behind these places. But I'd sure appreciate it if you made yourself comfortable, maybe made yourself one of these old fashions. Sit back, relax a while, watch the video, and we'll go over some of the finer points of this after the video. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy it. I appreciate you coming along. We officially started this day off with the old cup of Scary Barry coffee that has a little something extra that I just have to have, right guys? The sun was just coming up as we got started on a 197-mile, almost 3-hour trip to Louisville, Kentucky, which is the official starting point of the Bourbon Trail. As soon as we pulled into Louisville, we were looking for the Visitor Center, which is located in the Fraser, Kentucky History Museum downtown. It didn't have a whole lot of stuff in there, guys. It was more of a, hey, this is where you start and this is how far it is to each place. And that is where, unfortunately, I found out that most of the places were closed the weekend that we were there. But leave it to my amazing wife to still find something to fall in love with. Well, in true Scary Barry style, ladies and gentlemen, not planning ahead looks like it may have cost us some cool places to stop. So everywhere is closed on Sundays and Mondays, which are the 2 days that we have to spend down here. Those are my 2 days off. The nice guy at the Visitor Center did give us a couple names of the places that are open today. Evan Williams is one of them, and Angel's Envy. So we're at least going to try to go there and see what we can get into. So hopefully it's not a total bust. It still should be a good weekend. Just plan ahead. Don't be like me. Plan ahead. Okay, so I don't know if we're having another Scary Barry moment or not, but the parking is crazy. So all the way around here, we're trying to go to Evan Williams, and parking's $8, $7 all over the place. All of a sudden, right out front, there's a parking spot. So we're gonna park in it. I don't know if we're gonna get ticketed or not. Let's go into Evan Williams. Okay.
Use the left lane to turn left onto South 6th Street, then turn left onto West Market Street.
So here's the deal, guys.
Angel's Envy Distillery may not be open yet when you arrive.
All right, so here's what's going on, guys. Evan Williams does not open until 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock, and it's 12:30, right? So we're going to go on to Angel's Envy, which opens at 12:30, and hopefully grab that one. So we lost our amazing parking spot, but we're not going to sit here for 45 minutes and wait for them to open. So anyway, I guess it's on to Angel's Envy. I'll tell you what, all this running around hubbub, I think I'm gonna need a drink when I finally get a place that's open. How about you? You gonna start drinking?
Possibly.
So Angel's Envy Distillery is located in 500 East Main Street in the heart of the Whiskey Row, which is downtown Louisville. Angel's Envy was started by Lincoln Henderson and his son Wes. Lincoln was also the creator of other brands such as Woodford Reserve and Gentleman's Jack, but Angel's Envy was his first and only independent project. Today, Angel's Envy is a small handcrafted, small batch whiskey that's produced by Louisville Distilling Company. It's a subsidiary of Bacardi Limited. Lincoln had once said that for a lifetime, 5% of each spirit that he had lost during the barreling process called the Angel's Share. But he felt that after tasting this finished whiskey, he had finally gotten the better of the deal. The Angels no longer had the best, and so Angel's Envy was born. All right, Angel's Envy. I don't want to call it a bust, guys, but I did get this little pin that says Angel's Envy. I don't know if that shows up for you or not. and I did get my my passport stamped, but there really wasn't nothing. It's just a gift shop, and they don't let us have any kind of alcohol. It's a state law until after 1 o'clock. That's what they said, right? 1 o'clock. So I think we're gonna hit on. There's really nothing else. It's just a gift shop. If you can't do any of the bottling was only done on Thursdays, so that's not even available. Like I said, a lot of these places are closed today, so we're gonna head over to the only other place that's gonna be open, and that's Evan Williams, and let's see what experience we have over there. Evan Williams, located at 528 West Main Street in Louisville, Kentucky, it is their first commercial distillery and is located across the river from the original location where Evan Williams started it in the 18th century. Evan Williams immigrated to America from Wales in 1780 and erected his first distillery in 1783. Evan Williams is a brand of Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey that is bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky by Heaven Hill. There are 3 floors to the distillery located downtown. The first floor is kind of a welcome or a visitor center. The second floor is the gift shop. And then, of course, if you're going up to the 3rd floor, that's where they have the tasting in the bar set up. Each bottle of Evan Williams is aged for a minimum of 4 years, which is 2 years more than it has to be called straight bourbon. Williams died October 15th, 1810 in Louisville, but his brand is said to be one of the highest selling brands in history. So Evan Williams, yeah, so we just left out of there. There's a lot of stuff I've seen before in there. A few things. I got to try a rye whiskey, $100 bottle whiskey. Rye's just not my thing sometimes, and it just didn't quite hit right, especially $100. But it was nice that they let me give it a try. At least I got a little something for my trouble today, right? So anyway, now on to Bardstown, which is about a 40-minute drive, and we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into there. All right, guys, once again, my planning has almost got us in trouble. We're on our way to Bardstown and just found out a place I really wanted to stop at. It's called Bardstown Brewing Company. Bardstown Bourbon Company, a place I really want to stop at, a distillery. Are only open till 3 o'clock today, so we're cutting it really close. We're going to be at about 2:30 when we get there. So and they're not open tomorrow. They're not open on Mondays. What a weird bunch of people these guys are. But we're hopefully going to at least get a stop by and see the place. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So my wife is driving like crazy to get us there. Hopefully we get there safe. So the Bardstown Bourbon Company, located at 1500 Parkway Drive in Bardstown, Kentucky, is a much more modern and newer distillery. It was founded in 2014 by Peter Lofton. They are best known for their Fusion series of Kentucky straight bourbon that blends younger and older bourbons together to create something completely unique. They have a restaurant located inside called the Bottle and Bond Kitchen, and we really wanted to try it, guys, but by the time we got there, the kitchen area was closing. We toured the gift shop for a while, and I got my passport book stamped, but I'm telling you, this is one of the most favorite places we visited, guys. I got to hang out with the bartender a while, and he snuck us in on a tour, and I think that's what made it one of my most favorite places I visited.
That'll be $5.35 for you.
You want? I'm probably going to try another one. You want to hold off? Or
Oh, yeah.
It all
Yeah, we can. Totally.
That's why he has a very even minute. He's like, that's
Sorry to keep running back and forth.
He's like, that's the reason I have a beer. He's like,
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, Green River.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then my favorite part about it, it's actually a little game too.
Yeah.
On the bottom, horseshoe. Here's an opening. That you can actually.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I love it.
It's kind of a little double thing. If you get 2 bottles, you can sit across the table from somebody else.
I love it.
Have some drinks with them. Fusion.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fusion.
I'm going to try a glass of that if I may, please.
Oh, heck yeah. This is some great stuff.
Okay.
So what's cool about it is actually 2 of our 4-year-old products that's going to be blended with a 12-year-old source product. So with that, you have that nice, bright, vibrant flavor of the grain in the 4-year-old product. All the while, you still have a nice, bold, robust flavor coming from that 12-year-old product.
Okay.
That's going to bring that nice oaky flavor into that bright, youthful grain flavor. So it has an awesome balance to it. For the price of the bottle, it's really good, $68. It's punchy.
Bite, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
with
that.
a nice punchy flavor. It's still sitting at 95.5 proof. Just a wonderful all-around product there.
I'll tell you what, we're sad, man. We come all the way here from Huntington, Indiana. I don't know if you know that. But I've been driving all day today. We started off in Louisville.
Yeah.
everything's closed, man. I was like, what is happening? We get down here, everything's closed. We come here, you guys, they close at 3, and
yeah, it's Sunday.
Right?
Sunday in the Bible Belt.
Sunday and Monday are my days off, so we want to go for a quick weekend trip.
Monday and Tuesday are mine.
Yeah, and I was like, man, what is happening? This place is closed tomorrow, right? We thought we're not going to make it here today to be able to check it out. And
you have
read so much online about this place. So I'm going to check it out.
You guys do any tours or anything?
No, nothing's. That's what I'm saying. Everything's.
We didn't plan that
I am
far
terrible
ahead
with that, right? So
in a lot of the tours.
Do you guys want to do a tour?
Booked.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing one sometime, but.
Oh, not today?
Are you available today? Do you have one available?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. So heck yeah, guys, I just had a couple shots with the bartender in here. Super nice guy. I want to show you the outside. If it was nicer outside, I mean, you got all kinds of seating out here, just a place to chill out, enjoy your drinks. Just an awesome place. Bardstown Distillery is awesome. So anyway, I was chilling with the bartender, right? And I was telling him how hard it is to get a tour at all, anywhere. You have to call in advance. He gave me a little wink, went over to talk to a couple people. We're going on a tour, right? So we're getting ready to go on a tour of the Bardstown Distillery. And that guy got a good tip, if you know what I mean. So anyways, he pulled some strings, got us in a tour. Usually you got to book that tour weeks in advance. More than likely, I'm going to be honest with you, there was a couple people that canceled and he got us in, but he deserves a tip anyway, and I appreciate his extra effort. I'm slurring, can you tell? That's like, I'm like 6 shots in, guys. I'm feeling good, I feel good. So anyway, he told me afterwards, he says, all these shots you just bought at the bar, he says, those are free on your tour. He says, I'm sorry, I would have told you that if I knew you wanted a tour. I was like, that's all right, buddy. I'll drink him anyway. Set me up, let's go. And my wife is in there waiting right now, and we have a tour time of 3 o'clock, which is 5 minutes from now. And I'm gonna take you guys behind the scenes, exclusive look at the Bardstown Distillery. We're gonna take the private tour. Thank you, Mr. Bartender, man. I'll at least get his name. I at least got his name, right? So I had to start off this tour of the distillery with a glass of old fashioned, right? I mean, how often do you get to take a glass of whiskey around with you while you're touring the building? I love this part of it. So the first room we came to was kind of the tasting room, guys, and we sat down with our tour guide Macy, which was very informative and kind of walked us through each step of the process. And we got to try different aged bourbons, you know, all the way from 1 to 3, from 0 years all the way up to almost 12 year stuff. So very informative and very fun. 120 proof is the strength it is when it's put into the barrels, and that's represented by the first glass that we got to try. It's very clear, it's very strong, and it has very little flavor, guys. Then from there it is put into a charred barrel where it begins the aging process, and the flavors and the colors are pulled from the wood over time, which is represented by the second glass that we're drinking. The final glass is the Fusion series that is made up of 2 4-year-old and 1 12-year-old bourbons mixed together for that unique taste that is, it's much fuller at this point, and the color is much darker, as you can see. You start to taste notes of like, you got vanilla in there, and you can taste a lot more flavor at this level. At this point, guys, I was so proud of my wife. She is not a bourbon drinker, but she gave it a try anyways. Just so proud of her. And then we moved on to the tour. Now, this part of the tour, it gets really loud in here, and I'm just gonna kind of let you feel the full effects. It's gonna be tough to hear. I'm gonna turn it up, but it is rather loud.
Y'all got me?
Gotcha.
Sweet. Okay, let's head on in. Feel free to take pictures. Lord have mercy. Feel free to take pictures, all that good stuff, okay? Come on in.
It smells a lot like corn, doesn't it?
All right, on the menu, guys. Can you still hear me okay? Yeah. Perfect. So we got our 2 12,500-gallon cookers. You see it right up there? This one's overflowing. But it is great to see it in action, too. So thank you. I'm good. I appreciate you, sir. So we use city water. As of right now, we do plan on building a full man-made lake. That way we can source our water here on site in the future. All right, so right here we have our whiteboard. Kind of gives us an explanation about what's going on. So we've got our date right here.
no smell on this one.
This is just a giant fermenting tank that holds the beer up until we bring it to our distillery. And that's where we're going to go next. I do want to give you a little word of warning though. It's pretty warm in there, okay? So our still room separates the grain from the alcohol. We have hot steam in there. So it might be a little hotter than 90 degrees today. This is where the beer is pumped to, okay? So the beer goes to the top and it goes down a series of plates with holes in them and falls down to the bottom. While hot steam is rushing from the bottom to the top, it comes in contact with the alcohol, turns it into a vapor. If you want me to, I can turn this bad boy on so you can see the process, okay? So I'm going to take some of that grain off, and now you can see it. You can see it kind of bubbling and falling down. You can see it going right out of each nozzle, right? Each pipe, they're pouring out that distillate. This is 135 proof straight off the still.
Oh, okay. Also mine, right?
No, it is government safe. If you want to hold out your hands, I'll give some to you.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Just try it.
Crazy.
You want to put some on your hands? We didn't at the time, but other distilleries did. What do y'all think?
Actually, kind of tastes like that first one we had down there.
That's the same thing.
Same stuff.
Except
Okay.
this is hotter, higher in proof.
Guys, I apologize for all that noise, but I hope you could hear what Macy was saying. Some of that stuff was very interesting, and I wanted to leave it raw and uncut so you could kind of experience what we were experiencing as we went through that distillery.
So this is our barreling room. As you can see, we have barrels tucked away, ready to go for Monday. Again, they don't work on the weekends, so they get their weekends off.
So after the tour of the distillery, Macy took us out to one of the Rickhouses where they actually store the barrels that they just filled for the aging process. Thank you.
Again, Rickhouses, non-climate controlled, and you can feel that whenever you come in here. So each layer of 3 barrels makes up 1 story, again being 7 stories tall, 21 barrels high up. Would you like a cup?
Absolutely. What are we going to do with that?
We are going to be thieving out of a barrel.
Oh, I'm so happy about that. Yes.
So, what we like to do in here, especially at the end of the tour, is to let you guys get a taste directly from the barrel. So, this is a 4, maybe 5-year barrel. It is a 4.5-year barrel. And I'll show you how to read the barrel as this soaks up. So the lot number says 18G12. 18 is going to be the year that we put it into the barrel, okay? So 2018. G is going to be the month, numerically, alphabetically. So if you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the 7th month of the year, 7th letter of the alphabet. This was put in July, and then the 12th is the day. So I kind of read it backwards, the 12th of July, 2018.
Okay.
And the serial number is the amount of barrels that we did up to that point in the year. So we started out with 1, January 1st. This was our 27,783rd barrel of 2018. Again, I'm going to give you all a sip of this 4-year barrel. This comes in at a 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley blend.
And you don't know what proof this is exactly, but it's got to be
Around
high.
about 120.
Okay.
Yep. So enjoy, you guys. Cheers.
120 proof. Wow.
Look at the show pony, look at him.
Did you get it?
There we go.
How is it? How is it?
It's good.
Mother's milk.
Mother's milk. Yes. All right, I gotta try.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see if I can get it. There it is.
Damn. That's cool.
Tastes like the raw stuff we had in there,
again,
sort of. Yeah.
This is about a year-old juice.
Yeah.
So it's still early. You're gonna taste a lot of grain.
Holy crap, guys. Bardstown, help me with it. Bardstown Bourbon Distillery. So I'm drunk, right? I'm not going to lie. I got a nice buzz happening. Guys, that tour was awesome. So I must have had, let's see, I had Manhattan. I had like 3 whiskeys. We went through, drank straight from the, oh my gosh, it was crazy. So anyway, 140 proof or something. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty good, guys. So I'm glad we got on the tour and got to go on that. It was very informative, very cool. And we actually bought a couple bottles there, and I'll cover you, or I'll go over that later. Yeah. So anyway, we're on our way to find our hotel now. What's the name of the place?
Talbot's.
Talbott's. Isn't that a bar?
It's a tavern.
Oh, so it's
inn.
a tavern/inn. So we're going to Talbott's Inn and check in, and let's see what that's all about. Maybe I'll sober up a little bit and I can actually talk to you guys. All right, guys, a little bit of a lie. On the way back to the hotel, we found a place that's still open, and we're going to grab it before it closes because it is not open tomorrow. So it's James Bean. James Bean. It's not a bean. It's a beam. James Beam. James Beam. This is where I should have parked. Because I definitely got some handicap going on up here, right? Look at that building. How cool is that? That must be Jim Beam himself right there. Jim Beam. James Bean Distillery is located at Happy Hollow Road in Clearmont, Kentucky. It is an 8th generation distillery and it has been making bourbon since 1795. And that's only 3 years after Kentucky became our 15th state. In 1740, when the U.S. was still just 13 colonies, the Boehm family, B-O-E-H-M family, immigrated here from Germany. 48 years later, they relocated to central Kentucky and Americanized the German name to Beam. James Beam was actually founded by Jacob Beam, his father, and passed down through the generations, even through Prohibition. Colonel James Beauregard Beam was born in Bardstown, Kentucky, near the end of the Civil War in 1864. All right, so Jim Beam was pretty sweet, guys. It was pretty nice. And it had, just like all the others, you go in and it's just come buy my alcohol. And I'm telling you what, we almost got in a fight. Me drinking, my wife being pushy, stuff happening. That's not true. There was a little Booker whiskey bottle. They had one left on the shelf, right? $135. I reached for it. I grabbed it. I held it. Asked the guy, I said, "Is it $135, huh?" He says, "Yeah, for the little Booker. It's the last one we got." I said, "Wow, surely nobody was going to pick this up in a couple minutes." I set it down. Some guy got it, dude. I'm telling you, this guy picked it up and bought it for $135. I don't know if I'm upset about it or not because I do have the rule. Just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's amazing, right? So I like to taste it before I buy it, especially at those prices. I didn't get a chance to taste it. They had no tasting going on. It was too close to close. So I lost the bottle of Little Booker. I'm going to be kind of in the middle with that. I don't know if I'm happy or sad, but either way, we're going to head to the hotel and maybe grab a bite to eat. So we're headed to Talbott's Inn. Let's go that way. Here we go. The Talbott Tavern and Inn, located at 107 Stephen Foster Avenue in Bardstown, Kentucky. The Old Talbott was built in 1779 and is the oldest still-standing bourbon bar in the world. Over the years, several well-known names have crossed the threshold of the Old Tavern and Inn, such as Andrew Jackson, Henry Harrison, Abraham Lincoln, and even Jesse James. Bullet holes left by Jesse James can still be seen in the walls after a night of too much drinking and way too much fun. Me and my wife were able to get some seating at the Old Tavern, and we were looking forward to trying some of that amazing food after a long day on the road. My wife tried the bourbon fried chicken, and I tried the hot brown, which is a local favorite and is basically just an open-faced sandwich of turkey, ham, and some bacon covered with cheese and some sauce. I finished off the night with an old-fashioned, of course, and some great conversation with my wife. It was just neat to have dinner at a place with so much history. So, Talbott's Inn. Guys, I don't know if you can see me. It's kind of dark out here now, but so the hot brown I had, guys, it was a little bit, it wasn't my thing, right? It wasn't my thing. My wife had some really good chicken that wasn't bad at all. I got to say $72, including tip, was maybe a little high for the meal we got, but we were on vacation, so you got to suck it up and pay that extra price every now and then. But so we're on our way back to the room now. We're gonna see what else this night has in store for us. If you look around, the town at night is absolutely beautiful, so we may go for a little walk and see what's happening. So great stay this morning at the Talbott Inn, guys. Good morning. And I tell you what, this little traffic's a little noisy today, but we're gonna go ahead and push through it here, so I'll talk a little louder. But I had an absolute great night at the Talbott Inn. It was a nice stay, very quiet, enjoyed it a lot. I had a great breakfast over here at the Old Talbott Tavern this morning. It was some biscuits and gravy, some eggs, absolutely complimentary. But we're gonna go ahead and head out this morning, and we're gonna head to Heaven Hill as our first stop on the tour today. Both me and my wife now have some congestion, not feeling the greatest, so I don't know how much whiskey tasting I'll be doing today, but we can still visit these places. But had a great stay, guys. Highly recommend Talbott Inn. And let's go. Let's hit the first place. Heaven Hill Distillery is located at 1311 Gilkey Run Road in Bardstown, Kentucky. Shortly after Prohibition ended in America, Heaven Hill was founded by the Shapiro family.
Since its founding, all of the master distillers have been members of the Beam family, including the current Craig Beam. Included when you visit the distillery is a huge interactive museum that kind of walks you through the entire history of bourbon and the facility. Larceny, Elijah Craig, Evan Williams, Fighting Cock, Old Fitzgerald are just a few of the bourbons you'll learn about as you go on this tour. In 1996, a fire completely destroyed the production plant and over 90,000 barrels of highly flammable product. A river of fire flowed from the warehouses. All right, so Heaven Hill, guys. Wow, what a cool place. This place has probably got one of the most informative and interactive history section, almost like a museum that you walk through, right? It's unbelievable how much money and how much time they put into that. Here's one of their Rickhouses out here. As you can see, there's a lot of them all the way off in the distance. Anyway, on to the next. Let's do it. Very cool place. On our way over to Maker's Mark Distillery, guys, we got to travel some of the prettiest back roads ever. The rolling hills of Kentucky's back roads are just amazing. And something you don't get to see every day, at least where we come from, is wild turkeys just crossing the road, right? They flew right across the road, right about eye level, and we had to stop, just let them go by. Careful, turkey crossing. I'm talking about eye level height across the road. Wild turkeys! We are in whiskey and bourbon country for sure. Maker's Mark Distillery is located at 3350 Burke Spring Road in Loretto, Kentucky. Maker's Mark's origins began when Bill Samuel Sr. purchased Burke's Distilling Company for $35,000 in 1953. Production began in 1954, and the first bottle was bottled in 1958 with the signature red wax seal. Guys, I gotta tell you, of all the places we've visited, this is the place I would like to have spent the most amount of time. The grounds were absolutely amazing. They were beautiful. Everything you saw just had a feel about it. You had the smell of mash in the air. I could have spent a lot of time here. Oh, and we got to meet Whiskey, the resident cat. Guys, this cat has full run of the mill. It can go anywhere at once, and he was just a lovable little feller. All right, guys, so I bought Maker's Mark, and this is a charity edition, right? And one of the founders editions. So this, some proceeds of this sales actually goes to charity, which is nice because I'm probably going to dip this, and then it'll never be open. So very cool experience. So we're headed over here to see. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Chase.
Chase, do you mind being on camera? Thank you, I appreciate it. Chase is going to help me do some fun stuff here. You want to take this? Should be running and good to go. What do you need me to do, my man?
Set the bottle here.
Perfect.
Throw this apron on.
All right.
Inside the pockets, your sleeves and gloves.
I should have took my jacket off. I feel like I'm getting ready to do something really bad.
We'll set the bottle right there.
All right.
I'm going to do a quick demonstration, then I'll let you get to jetting.
Okay.
Got 4 fingers on the front,
Right.
thumb on the back, other hand on the bottom. Straight down into the wax, so you get right past that bulge in the neck.
Okay.
And bring it immediately to the side, 2 quick twists, sit on the neck.
Very well.
So it's down, side, twist.
Down, side, twist. Down. Gotcha. Now?
Yeah,
Here we go.
whenever you're ready.
Here we go.
Yep, sideways, twist, 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 twist. Table. Then gravity's gonna do the rest.
Oh, that is so cool. Let's see it.
Slow speed.
That is so cool. That is neat. That's awesome. And our last stop on this trip, ironically, is not officially on the Bourbon Trail, but it is somewhere that I just had to stop. Buffalo Trace is located at 113 Great Buffalo Trace in the state's capital, Frankfort, Kentucky. Records indicate that distilling started on this site that is now Buffalo Trace Distillery in 1775 by Hancock Lee. The first distillery was then constructed in 1812 by Harrison Blanton. It has historically been known for several names, including the George T. Stagg Distillery, the Old-Fashioned Copper Distillery, and its namesake bourbon brand, Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, was introduced in August of 1999. The company claims the distillery is the oldest continuously operating distillery in the United States. I got to try several samples while we were there, but I got to say my favorite has to be the bourbon cream mixed with the root beer. Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Oh, that's good. It is really good.
It tastes like ice cream in there.
Yeah, I thought it's like a root beer flow when you let the ice cream melt.
That is amazing.
And we've had people. So Buffalo Trace, guys, yeah, that was nice. I wish we could have got to follow the barrel tour, something I really wanted to do. But the thing I love about this place is they let you taste the stuff before you buy it, and it's all free. There is no, you don't pay for a pour, you pay to try it. So that's why I got a bunch of toys, right? I fell in love with it. So for a guy starting out not drinking much today, I did have a few samples, and I am feeling a little bit of something. But that's it. I think from here on out, we're headed home, headed back to the great state of Indiana and back to our hometown. So I appreciate y'all coming with me. I had a great time, and I hope you learned some things along with me. We'll do a recap when I get home, go over some of this stuff that we purchased throughout this trip, and I'll do a review kind of what I think. So anyway, great time. We're headed home. You ready to go home, babe?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
She's done. You know, somebody who don't drink whiskey or bourbon, I gotta give her credit for letting me have my fun. So thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
I love you for the trip. What an awesome time. So anyway, guys, that was our trip. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you laughed. I hope you learned some things, and I hope you liked the scenery as much as I did. So let's talk about some of this stuff here and some of the memories that I have and things that stick out on this trip for me, right? So let's move some of this out of the way. You're all not here for the trinkets and the toys, right? Even though that is a cool mug. I love that mug, right? We got all kinds of trinkets and toys here. Let's move them out of the way. This one was a fun one. This was the ticket that we used on that tour that you just watched, where I went through... we went through the distillery at Bardstown, the Bardstown Distillery. That was a great tour. I loved that a lot. That, I would say, out of the whole trip, the Bardstown Distillery sticks out the most. And I think it's simply because we got to tour the place, right? The other ones we didn't really get to tour. We couldn't get on. We couldn't see the behind the scenes. So I think that's why this one sticks out so much for me. This was a really enjoyable tour for me. So as I was saying, like the Bardstown Distillery, that's where this bottle, that's where I picked that up. This is the one that we walked through, and I seen them, where I had that really, really strong stuff, and we seen them where they barreled it and how they put it in the houses out there to age. This one was a really fun one. I suggest if you can make it to Bardstown Bourbon Company, I would stop there on the Bourbon Trail. It's a little bit farther out from some of the others, but it is definitely worth the drive. And I would say get there early if you want to eat. I hear the restaurant is amazing. They have some great Kentucky Fried Chicken, the real deal, real Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they have some amazing burgers. Make sure you get there before 3 or so you can eat in the restaurant. I think you would enjoy that. I really wanted to try that, didn't get a chance, but I'm not complaining. I got to go on a tour there, so very cool. And probably my favorite place of the trip was the Bardstown Distillery. I absolutely loved it. Almost as much as I love this old fashioned. Which, by the way, I picked this up, which is just an old-fashioned mix, right? So, and it's really pretty good when you mix it together. I used, so it's 2 ounces of this and 1.5 ounces of your favorite whiskey. And I picked this up at Buffalo Trace, and it's really, really good. You don't have to, if you like old-fashions like I do, this takes half of the work out of it, and it tastes pretty good. That's what I'm enjoying right now. Of course, Buffalo Trace also has the bourbon cream, and I got to try this, as you've seen, with a little bit of root beer. So root beer and bourbon cream is amazing, guys. I never would have guessed it, but now that you think about it, why wouldn't it be amazing? Root beer and it tastes like a root beer float, absolutely amazing. And another thing about Bourbon Trace that I really liked, guys, everything is free, right? I'm not going to complain too much about not being able to do a tour. That's all on me. That's from not planning ahead, looking months, weeks ahead and trying to sign up for one of those tours, because those tours are free. That is the only place we went that had the free tours, the free. I mean, you can go from the beginning of a barrel where they first put the barrels together all the way to the end of the line where they put it in the rack for storage. So I would have liked it in that tour, but it is just an amazing facility. Everybody there was nice. The bartender was extremely knowledgeable, and he told me a lot of things that I didn't know before I went to Buffalo Trace. So it's a great place to stop, great place to hang out. Highly recommend Buffalo Trace. It's quite a ways out from these others, and it is not on the Bourbon Trail. So I did not get to stamp my book there. Obviously, throughout this book, you've seen me stamping it at some of these places. Like this one here was an Angel's Envy. You get a stamp, the date and the time you were there. Buffalo Trace is not on the Bourbon Trail, and I asked about it, and what I was told is, because they're one of the few that don't charge for the tours, I guess you have to charge for the tours to be in the book. So that sounds strange to me. If any of you out there know, is that true? Is that false? Is there another reason why they're not in this book? Either way, if you know, please let me know. But I was told it was because they don't charge for their tours. Another one I got at Bourbon Trace, guys, is Weller. So I gotta be honest. I am not a bourbon guru, right? I'm just getting into this. I enjoy bourbons. I have a hard time paying high price for bourbons that I've never tasted, right? I don't collect the bottles. I don't collect bourbon as of now. I can see it becoming a problem later on. So this Weller right here, I had no idea if I liked it or not until I went to the free taste, and I fell in love with this stuff. It makes a great old fashioned, right? The Weller is a great whiskey to put in there, and I would have never bought this bottle had I not been able to try it for free at Buffalo Trace. So again, kudos to Buffalo Trace for letting you try their stuff free. And then this Evan Williams single barrel vintage that I got right here. You can see on the back. So when I was there, they were only putting 10 of these out a day. And I have not tried this, but it was a cheaper price bottle, so I was okay with taking the chance. And I still have not tried this yet. They only put 10 of these out a day, and I was lucky enough to grab one. There was 2 left on the shelf, and we were there early. We were there pretty much when they opened, or else this probably wouldn't have been available for me to bring home and try. But I'm looking forward to trying this one. And then, of course, there was Maker's Mark, and you guys see me dip this bottle on the video. How much fun was that? I mean, it just makes you be part of it. And I don't know that I'm ever going to open this bottle. I don't want to say never, because there's a good chance I might. But this is the Founders Series. So the one that I picked up is bottle number 114 out of 4,500, right? So the reason this bottle appealed to me, I could have chose any bottle I wanted to dip in the distillery there. The reason this one appealed to me was simply because it was a Founders Edition, and $25 of this bottle's purchase went to charity. Right? Now that means a lot to me, especially for a bottle that I would probably never drink, probably never try. And the lady there did say the bourbon inside of this bottle is nothing special. It's the label that makes it special, and it's what the charity goes to that makes it special. So that's why I bought this. I imagine this tastes like any other Maker's Mark out there. So anyway, maybe I'll open it someday, maybe I won't, but until then, it's a memory for me to remember. And of course, all the knickknacks, all the stuff. Love my hats. My wife got a whole bunch of. This was actually at Maker's Mark. It's a dipped Christmas ornament, right? So my wife collects Christmas ornaments, and this one just kind of fit the. I asked the guy if she could dip her own, but I guess they don't dip these ornaments there. Something about the plastic melting in that hot wax. I don't know, but she didn't get to dip her own ornament, but she did get one. Several other little knickknacks over here, and this I do recommend you guys get it. This is the field guide for the Bourbon Trail. Inside of here, I'm not going to go through it all for you, but is every distillery that they have and a little bit about each one. Kind of gives you some pointers on what directions to go, how many miles there are, and you do get stamped. Like here's the Bardstown stamp. You do get stamped at every distillery you go, and if you get it all filled, if you hit every distillery in here, you do get a special prize. A Bourbon's Lover's Prize. They won't tell you what it is, but I bet it's pretty special. If any of you have completed this book and got that prize, I would love to hear what it is. If you could type it down below, I'd sure appreciate it. So anyway, pointers. Plan ahead. That's the best thing I can tell you. I kind of like going on vacation and not having an itinerary. That's something I like to do. I like to kind of go with the flow, check things out, see what it's all about. Kind of like the hotel we stayed in. The history behind that hotel amazes me. I love the stories. Like Jesse James staying in one of the rooms and shooting up the rooms. But I love the history of places like that. That's part of the reason I like to go without an itinerary. You find little holes in the wall that sometimes have the amazing stuff. Now the hot brown that I had for dinner, I don't want to put the place down. That's on me. It was a very good meal. Everything was presented great. It was hot. It smelled great. It just didn't taste good to me. And that's on me. I'm not saying don't try the hot brown. The only reason I wanted to try it was because it was the traditional Kentucky food, right? And if I'm in Kentucky, I don't want to eat McDonald's, right? I don't want to eat Pizza Hut. It was like eating slices of turkey and ham in a bowl of soup that you had to cut. It was very strange. But my wife enjoyed the chicken, so maybe that's what I should have done. Just got a burger or something made there locally instead of trying the hot brown. But you got to try the local cuisine, right? You got to try what's hot. So as I said, plan ahead, guys. Look at the websites for any of these places you want to go or any of the other distilleries that you think you might want to visit. Because like we said in the video, a lot of those places are closed on Sundays and Mondays. And save yourself a couple of extra days, right? Some of these places were absolutely beautiful. Maker's Mark, the grounds were exquisite. They were beautiful. They had places out there for you to sit down, had a fire pit. You could have taken your drink, looked at that beautiful landscape, and just enjoyed the day. So plan more than a couple days if you want to enjoy all the amenities that these places have to offer. I mean, it's beautiful. I could have sat out there all day and just looked at those rolling hills, the sunset, drank my whiskey, maybe had a cigar. I would have loved that. So the next time I go back, that is exactly what I'm going to plan, is a day of that. I do recommend starting off in Louisville. And the first place we went was to the Visitor Center down in the Fraser Museum, I think it's called. That is stop one on the Bourbon Trail, according to the field guide. You go there, they'll give you some pointers on where to go, what's open, what's going on, what's new. That's a great place to start this tour, is downtown Louisville. And there's so many of these distilleries right downtown Louisville. But as I said, a lot of them were closed while we were there. So make sure you plan ahead for that, because you can see a lot of them within walking distance. Another thing we found is while we were downtown, we were worried about parking. There's all kinds of parking places you can go to. But quite honestly, we found plenty of parking spots that we didn't have to pay for. So just drive around a little bit. I think you'll find a place you can pull in. Save yourself the $8 to $10 for parking. Another distillery I want to touch on before I close this video up, though, is Heaven's Hill. I didn't get anything from Heaven's Hill, but what an amazing facility. You walk in there, and there is literally a museum of history, interactive history. And I think I touched on some of that in the video, but you can push the buttons and it'll tell you all about when the whiskey was made, who made it, where they were born, how long they've been there. They'll talk about the fire. You could spend hours in that museum, and it's all free. You just walk through there and check it out. It is the most comprehensive museum tour that I've ever seen in a place like this. So if you get a chance, even if you're not buying anything from Heaven Hill, I would suggest stopping by there, check it out, learn about some of the amazing whiskeys and some of the amazing peoples, some of the trials and tribulations they went through to get to be who they are today. So I do highly recommend that. But anyway, I guess that's about it, guys. I appreciate you coming along, watching the video. If you have any questions, please throw them down below and I'll answer them the best I can. Like I said, this is my first trip, but I'm happy to throw you any information I have up here. I hope if you go, you find some great finds, you find some good whiskey, and you like everything you have. Until then, guys, this is Scareberry out. I love you. Thanks for coming along. Talk to you later. See ya.